Hello Tinterweb, it's Dan Fader, and I'm bringing you another episode of the speed build I'm doing in Space Engineers. That's the game that we are currently in now, and this is of the Star Wars Imperial Star Destroyer. If you join me in the first episode, then you'll know what I've started to do here is to use the official LEGO plans. That's right, which is why it looks a bit odd at the moment. So each of these blocks are using a similar scale to that in the LEGO plans that you can download from the LEGO website if you want to have a go yourself. But you also know, if you notice, you may or not, I don't know, but the main skeleton of the ship, the body of the ship, is pointing in a totally different direction to where I left it, and that's because we had a bit of an accident during a recording session. Long story short, is one of the methods I was using to create these diagonal sloping sides that go from the nose to the far ends of the tail section that I've already built kind of went a bit of awry. I wanted a completely smooth and flat surface, fishtailing out towards the rear, just jumping out now to check my plans. Yeah, so I tried to use rotors and to position them, and without any kind of thrust or stabilisation at all on the skeleton of the ship, the movement of those rotors gave movement to the entire structure. I'm kind of regretting not keeping the footage now so I could show you what I mean, but the result was that this thing started to drift, and I got a bit of damage to the nose section that I finished, the final part I did in the last episode. So anyway, I caught up with it, deleted the offending section that I'd done, and also the evidence, the video footage, and we're now doing this instead. So you'll see that I'm doing like a gradual step out with these blocks. I've used or looked at all sorts of software. There's even free software that you can get now for Minecraft that allows you to plan structures, and obviously this is a block building game, and although I had some success, the quickest way to mark it for me was to actually use Photoshop. There are other programs available, and it was because I knew exactly the dimensions. I could put a plan together that was pixel 1:1, then draw the diagonals in Photoshop, and then zoom in to see exactly how many blocks for each part of the diagonal would need to join the nose to the tail, which I'm about to do right now. So that's where I got to. The scale I'm still using, still using the kind of the 1:4. So if you look at the LEGO plans, if you're following the LEGO plans during this speed build, I'm not using a 1 high block to represent a 1 high block. In LEGO we're giving it a multiplier of 4, and it seems to work well. If you can imagine that when I start to add the sloping panels on to the Star Destroyer, which gives it that very unique, distinctive look, this will be the section between them, between the base of the ship and the top. To zoom out quickly, it's looking good. I'm really pleased with this now. I'm glad I decided to go with this, but when I zoomed out there, I did notice that it looks like that was a block that I may have deleted. The mirroring system does work, but if you delete a block during a build and you don't replace it properly or in time, I think, or if it saves, it forgets that you're placing blocks. So what happened there is, I've got some, yeah, but that happens time to time as well. When using the control and left shift function to copy and paste blocks at 2 axes, like the horizontal and vertical, if you're not quite got the positioning right, you end up doing just that. Anyway, quickly deleted, not a problem. So like I was saying, that I had to go back quickly and add these remaining blocks. So what I'm going to start to look at, and like I was doing with the skeleton, is the detail. I've done it again, look. The detailing. I couldn't be bothered there, just delete one at a time, out of the way. So you'll see as we go through this next section that I'm going to be adding detail as we go, and it may get changed, it may not. It may not. Well, I'll take a look at that in a second. But now that we've got those sides on, I wanted to give you a sense of how big this structure was. So I've zoomed out into first person. There's my little man. So let's bring ourselves over to the nose. Let's get rid of the block tool in my hand so we don't have anything else pop up. I'm going to attempt to land on the very edge here. Oh, wrong button. Down we go. And touchdown. You can see the shadowing is awesome, isn't it? So that gives you a rough idea of how big, how stupidly big this thing is going to be. My thought is that once I've skinned out the ship, that as long as everything's held together internally, that we can go back in and maybe even delete sections out, so that we can actually give it a functional interior, not just an exterior that looks like a Star Destroyer. Oh, random block, get rid of that. And there's a couple floating here as well. We'll just grab them before they do any damage. So this next section now, I'm going to start to look at the plans again. I'm going to be jumping in and out, and there's like these little blue, I can't remember what they're called. They're like junction pieces in Technic, because there's Technic pieces used in this. So those little blue things I'm going to add anyway. And again, because I'm using the mirroring tool, as you can see in the background there, that blue horizontal line, that's just slightly opaque. That's going to get replicated on the other side of the structure. So I'm only having to do this to one side, and it gets copied on both. Now, I may or may not keep these. I think these will play a part in the Lego plans in order to hold the top slats into place at a diagonal. I think we won't have that issue with Space Engineers, because we have diagonal blocks there. You can see one that's already equipped to my toolbar down at the bottom there, the number 2 slot, and the number 3 slot for that matter. So we might go back, and there's another piece as well that's going to come up that I'm going to build as well. As you can see, again, even though it's not visible, I'm adding them anyway. As we flesh out the interior later on, that might just give it a little bit of, I don't know, a bit of oomph, just something different. Building another one of these sticky out bits, and you probably think to yourself, well, that wasn't on the original, Star Destroyer, and it probably wasn't, not in the films. But well, I'm going to try and stick true to these Lego plans, and use artistic license later on and delete sections as we go. Just checking back to the first one I did, I wanted them to look identical. I think that's pretty much. This one looks a little different though. Yeah, I think this was. I think I did it one too many blocks wide. This just didn't look right. It looked awkward. It just ruined that line completely. It needed to come a lot closer, I think. So I think did I go back and check? Zoom out. Yeah, it does stick out a lot more. Doesn't look right at all. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah. So for this speed build, I'm kind of doubling the speed of the build on these sections. And when I'm doing the detailing on the sides, I'm kind of quadrupling the speed. I think that should be right. It's important that it should be slow enough for people to see what I'm doing, but fast enough so it's not like a half an hour episode of me placing block by block. But if you want to see it slowed up or sped up, just drop me a comment in the box below. Any feedback, say tongue-in-cheek constructive feedback, would be great. Yeah, actually, do you know what? Now that they're on, it's starting to look, is there some kind of function? Maybe we could use them as I don't know. They could be entrance platforms. You could dock ships alongside them. smaller ships. Although the Imperial Star Destroyer had a huge, like a docking area, didn't it? Ships would come underneath. Just final little bits of detailing now at the nose end. And that's pretty much it for this this episode. We've now done the entire skeleton of the Imperial Star Destroyer, and it's now starting to really look quite impressive. I'm so excited to show you the rest. I'm recording and building at the same time, so I don't even know how this is going to turn out yet. It's God honest truth. But I do appreciate you joining me on this journey so far, and I hope that you come and join me on the next episode of this speed build, where we'll be starting to add the tops, I guess. We're going to build out and really give the ship some depth. I've been Dad Vader. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time. Take care.
I can't breathe in this thing!